A very good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for joining the Life Signatures Radio. It's a daily show where we talk about purpose, productivity, and resilience. And in every single working day, there is an episode around those parameters. And I do believe that those are the most important parameters in life. You remove any one of those parameters in life and it loses meaning. So we found us in the middle of a series which we have started winding. We're talking about the 4 simple things in life, 4 interesting things in life that qualifies all of us. We've been talking about those in the past 3 or so episodes. Today, I want us to look at one more interesting thing in life that is going to qualify all of us. That is one of those things that qualifies all of us. And I've already alluded to this in the previous episodes. But today we'll just go deeper into it. So stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Life can equal a lot of things to different people. And at times we count ourselves out of life and thinking that, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And therefore it seems as if what we don't have equals failure, what we do have equals nothing as compared to what other people have or what we do not have. But we're saying that there's some simple, interesting things about life that qualifies all. And the first thing that I shared in these episodes is that success is available to all. It is available to all, especially if you look at the definition of success being personal. My success is not necessarily the same as yours. I cannot say you are a failure because you've not attained my success. Nah. Okay? We are different people with different opportunities in life and with different passions and different directions that we are taking. Secondly, we say that life is simple. It's not as complicated as we think it is. It is actually simple. The only way you need to know how the simple life is to remove the complicated things that we think they ascribe success to our lives. That money, cars, affluence, that is what success is all about. No, you will be shocked that the person who doesn't have these things can be as successful, even much more successful than the person who has. Alright? Now, the third thing that I want us to look at today is this. Success is around, not way out there. This is very important for us to note. This is very important. Now, I know the law of proximity. I also know the law of the environment, and I know you've never heard those laws. I'm just making them up. The law of proximity tells you that what is around you can be things that catalyze your life. So, if you are in another environment, for example, you might be much more successful than the environment you are in. I know about that. I understand that. I know full well about that. That if I was transported to the United States of America and I did this podcast, it might be quantitatively much more successful than it is right here. But then success is not just about quantity, it's also about qualitatively. Qualitative is very interesting because I might impact one person qualitatively where I am, and it reverberates in the spiritual realms and across generations far much better than the thing that I would do maybe in the United States of America, where there's a lot of floods of inspiration and all that stuff, where for them, someone who's listening to these episodes, it's just one of those, it just feels good to listen to you and so on. But for someone else, qualitatively, it might be a life overhaul, a revelation, changes their minds and opens the lights, and the darkness from their life is just dispelled. So there is the law of proximity and the law of environment. I know about that. But what I'm communicating in this episode here today is this, especially to those people who think that their success is when they get out of their vicinity and go somewhere else. And in the process, you know what they do? They negate what they can do in the vicinity that they're in at the moment. And therefore, consequently, they do nothing. Are you understanding what I'm saying? That you think your success is out there, so you don't do or you don't cherish what you have around you right now, in the environment that you are right now, waiting to excel. It's the title of a movie. Waiting to have you uprooted and put somewhere else so that you can succeed over there. So this waiting and doing nothing, what does it amount to? It amounts to you not taking advantage of what you have right now. So if at all you've taken advantage of what you have right now, where you are right now, and it's not adding up, as in you do not, like the Bible tells us of the guys in Hebrews, I think Hebrews 12, it says that the world was not worthy of these guys. If your environment is not worthy of you, it's only because you've done everything there is to do in your environment and you need more. That's when you can qualify to move on to another place. But you see, that's exactly what I'm saying, that success is around you, not over there. If you've not conquered here, what do you need to go there to do? Probably you'll carry the same attitude over there where you're going. In relation to our previous point, or previous episode yesterday, people think that on top of life being complicated, their success is never around them. It's over there. And that's why people shift from one geographical location to another in search of success. I've already explained that. There is a lot of merit in it. And we know the story of acres of diamonds. Remember that story of a guy who had his land, and he had stories of people who were, mining diamonds. I think that's the story, and so on. So he sold his land and went out there to look for those diamonds. And the guy that bought this land came and dug in a little bit. He wasn't even looking for the diamonds, just dug in a little bit, trying to cultivate, and he found diamonds in the land. And the guy who had sold the land heard that the person who has come in has just struck diamonds, and he committed suicide, something of that nature. I don't know if that's the story. But what's the point? What's the moral of the story there? The moral of the story is that the things we overlook that are around us, and sometimes even within us, the people that are around us, okay, the environment in which we are right now, could be our acres of diamonds. It's just that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen because we're not looking here. We're looking elsewhere. You are employed right now, and could be this is where your pedestal is. This is where your foundation is. But you are doing a lot of stupid things here because you don't cherish here, thinking that your success or your breakthrough, that's the word, your breakthrough is in another organization as a CEO of another organization. So here you make a mess of everything. That's a lie. The point I am belaboring to make, my friends, is that there is a possibility for us to succeed at some level where we are. There is a reason as to why where we are. In fact, there's a very powerful prayer that I heard a guy say. He said, if you wanted revival to come into your vicinity, into your community, draw a circle around you and ask God to send revival in that particular circle. That's it. The revival has got to start in our own circles, our own little circles here. That's where the success is. That's the address for our success. That's the Jerusalems. That's the starting point for our success. But the more we keep thinking that success is out there in another world, out there, we will not see what we can leverage on, what we can take advantage of in this position, in this geographical location that we are in. I've had Nigerian friends coming and talking about Uganda. They say, we marvel at what you guys have in Uganda in terms of land. Our land is so hard. It can't grow anything, but in Uganda, you just throw a little bit of seeds and you don't even need to cultivate. You don't even need to weed them. And they grow. But Ugandans, they don't see that. Okay? We think that the good life is out there in South Africa. The good life is out there in Morocco. The good life is out there in the Middle East. And if you go to the airport, the same Uganda I'm talking about, if you go to the airport every single week, probably every single day, there's a group of girls wearing hijabs going to the Middle East to work as house helps. Because they think that success is there in the United Arab Emirates. And I'm not saying that it could not be there. It could be. But negating what we already have is a problem. A friend of mine met one girl. We were just in the streets and met a girl in Kampala. And she said, I don't know how we started conversing. And then she said that she's working on getting a passport so that she can go to the Middle East. I looked at her. She's an able-bodied woman and she looks so smart. And we are thinking in our minds, you are going to become a maid in the Middle East. That's smart. You are this smart. And our hearts just broke and we tried to dissuade this stranger, tried to dissuade her from that. Of course, we've had stories upon stories of people who have been mistreated in the Middle East. But of course, the flip side, of course, is that there are also people who have gone out there and they have made it in life. But I'm balancing this story. I'm just saying that don't take where you are for granted. It could be your pedestal, it could be your foundation, it could be your launch pad to where you want to go. A man sells his land and the proceeds to travel going looking for diamonds, and his land is the one that has the diamonds. He wasn't looking in the land. He wasn't looking around him. You're taking your wife for granted. You're taking your husband for granted. You're taking your job for granted. You're taking your skills for granted. You're taking your talents for granted. You're taking your environments for granted. You're taking the peace you're experiencing in your environment for granted. Thinking that something, somewhere, elsewhere is where you ought to be. Granted, there is some need for some people to shift geographically in order to find their success. I don't refuse that. But I have reason to believe that we all can start from where we are with what we have and make a fortune out of it. We just need to be hardworking and we just need to be directional. We just need to focus. We just need to find out where is our acres, where is our diamonds in the acres that we have right now, where is it? And start digging right there. The effort that we are spending in terms of looking for passports and looking for bribing and so on and so forth so that we can get out of the country and lying through the process. Let me not go there. The third thing that I've shared today with you is that success is around. It is not way out there. Tomorrow we can bring this to a close. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.